Hello, hi, hey, it's your good friend J. Scott Jewell playing more Factorio, trying to set up a railway. So we've got the beginnings of a station down here. I'll probably move this power pole out of the way. So the basic idea is that we will have, and there's an ideal ratio for this, I don't care to look it up. But essentially, you have ants, but then I'm going to want a chest or a belt or something. In the end, it's going to be a chest for robots, but for now, just a chest. Fill that with coal, and then whenever the train comes in for a delivery, it'll get fueled up at the same time, automatically, which is good. We like automation. So if I take that out, the other one won't still connect, obviously, but if I put that down there, then we're all good. Okay, so for now, I'm going to build this like the only thing that we have to pull out of it is iron, which is not the greatest idea for the future, but should still work. So ideally, we'd want to have just one big depot where all the trains come in and unload their stuff. And then robots would be sorting it out into storage or whatever. But for now, iron is the only thing I have, so... And actually, speaking of iron, I need to see how all of this is going to lay out. So... a little chunk of coal there. Drop it in there. I'm going to make a run down to the iron. Oh, rail signals are done. Gates are okay. Don't really plan on doing a lot with walls, though, so... Explosives, lasers, military 3, sure. Circuit network is sort of fun. Oh, let's do advanced electronics, I guess. Oh, really emptied it out already. Interesting. Let's get back up there. Ooh. Okay, so basically I want to know if I put iron in here, are these all going to feed out the way I want them to? Yeah, let's get a power pole there. Yes, okay. So all of those can feed out. And then I'm basically going to want them to unify into a line. And then feed into here. There's a lot of different ways you can get 4 lines to condense down into one. Oh, and actually, before I do that, we want some temporary storage. And we're not actually looking for the most storage in the world, because if everything's going right, they shouldn't necessarily get too full. Like, we don't want to have a lot of material just sitting in them. So we're using iron chests instead of steel chests so that they can just pass through and it'll be fine. It's basically just there to act as a buffer for any incoming material. that we don't need to smelt just yet. So we'll get those. And then I'm not a super fancy guy, so I'll just do load balancer there. That one up there. And then I'll have those guys go over to there. And load balance again. Again, I don't think there's actually a need for the second load balancer here. I just like the way they look, honestly. So we'll drag that all the way over. And we can take out all this stuff since we're not filling in that way anymore. Free car for me. Take out the light. Then I think what I'm actually going to do, end that line there and have it go up to there, and then have this one fill up straight to there. There we go. So now iron goes into there, and it'll feed out of those guys. Okay, so let's build another couple of those arrangements. Don't know if that one's actually going to pick anything up. It's hard to tell. The grabbable area on cargo wagons is like more... It's not an even number of squares across, I don't think. So after a while, your arrangement of inserters gets shifted a little bit relative to the cargo wagon. Which is obviously not ideal. Okay. Got those. Do I have... I have one medium power pole. Gonna take more than that, I think. And let's get some light over here. So that goes there. Can that stretch to there? Yes. Wonderful. Okay. So that's looking good. And then we just need to get the belt situation worked out. Get those guys. Okay. So that goes up, in, out, and I am out of belt. Back up to the top. Hitch a ride on my stone brick line. Because you do get to add your... you get to add the belt's movement to your movement when you're running on it. Although by the same token, if you're running against the belt, you slow down. So it's fun to take a nice little shortcut on the belt if you can. I probably should have picked up... Definitely should have picked up some splitters while I was up there. Forgot all about it. Just forgot. Didn't even look. I assumed I was fine. What a fool. Advanced electronics is done. Let's do the circuit network because it's there, essentially. And then actually, I should come back later. Somewhere along here I should start using a red belt to get some better throughput. But not today. Not today. Okay. I'll kick that out that way. Great. Yep, just an absolutely silly number of useless belt balancers. There's no reason for them. But it's going to look very silly when ore starts coming in. So, that's cool. I like the kind of flip-flop and daisy chaining look of it. One more to build. Belt, splitter, splitter. Got that, and that there. So then that, and that there. That comes back that way. Yes. Okay, and then that goes out that way and in that way, and that goes that way and that way. Ooh. That was a bit of a puzzler for me. I'm sure it was not a puzzler for a great many people, but I scratched my head. I'll admit it. Trying to figure out the optimal, like, oh, well, that's no good. Trying to figure out, like, the optimal keystrokes, the optimal key sequence to get this done in the fewest number of taps. Probably there's a different one for each direction, I'm sure. I'm sure. That's not even a probably, that is just certain. So we have a third one here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So no flip-flopping this time, unfortunately, because we still need it to be this lane, and whichever one it ends up on is the one that you kick out to the side there. Because that's just how that works out. So that unloading is all ready. Already ready already. And you know what, now that I'm looking at them, I don't really like the look of those belt balancers just sitting in the middle like that. So. Ah, but I like even less the idea of some of my ore just sitting on the belt. Arg. Just sitting there doing nothing. Okay. Alright, I'll leave it. I'll leave it in. So the next thing we're going to need is a curve. There we go. To send this down to the other iron. And can we go straight down? Looks like we can go straight down for a lot of it. Yeah, it's not bad. So, finish out the curve there, and I'm very excited, because in the new version of Factorio, which who knows when it's coming out, but someday, whenever that comes out, they've improved the rail system. So it works on just a pathing and blueprinting type of thing. So I'm not actually sure how that's going to work out in the game. It looks like it's going to be dependent on robots, but instead of having to build all this manually, you just kind of click point A, drag to point B, and it figures out all the pathing for you. And then lays down a blueprint for your robots to follow. And that'll be good. Very easy. Because right now, the situation is basically, there's just kind of a ton of mods that are set to address the rail building issue. Like one of them, really popular one, Farl, just gives you a type of locomotive that has some special GUI elements, and basically you put all of the like rail and signals and all the other stuff you need for your railway in a cargo wagon behind it, and then when you turn it on, you can just drive it around and it'll lay down all the track for you automatically. So that ends up helping a great deal. Speaking of a great deal, I gotta clear out a great deal of trees here to make room for the depot, or at least the loading bay for the iron ore. And my steel axe ran out, because of course it did. Get another couple of those built. Okay. Is that enough space? Probably not even remotely. So, how do I want to do this is the question. Because we're going to need enough space to park the whole length of the train down here. Well, okay, so let's say... Oh, I can't get rid of all this. Gotta get rid of the inserters first. Inventory is full because I'm a silly man. And, oh, I can use trees for fuel, sure. Okay. I get it? Alright. So I picked up all the ore at least. And then there's that stuff. Okay. So we've got all of these. And so essentially we're going to have the reverse of the other situation, where we will have... Well, I guess that'll tell us. We can just put some random amount of room for the engine at the front. And then we'll say 2, and then 2. Need some more iron for iron boxes, which I don't have any, so let's drive back up with this iron ore. Ah, I took the other car. That's funny to me. Oh, shoot. And I also took out my means of unloading this. But, duh, I put in a whole new unloading system. So, let's get some into there, some into there. And so that's the other neat thing about the car system, is I had about as much carrying capacity in just one trunk load as a full train load here. The train holds a little bit more, but yeah. There we go. There we go. Got some nice flow going there. I like it. That's what I like to see. And I don't still have any in here, do I? Oh, I do. My goodness. Plenty of unloading to do. Now, of course, the advantage we can see with the trains here is throughput. The unloading speed is just phenomenal with all those inserters. As opposed to the, 4 or 5 inserters that I was able to surround a car with. So, we have got... Can I just count? 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's say we need 20. We need a length of track 20 pieces long. So, and then if the belt is coming in there, did I pick up any more iron? Of course not. Why would I be as intelligent as that? Sure, let's look up concrete, why not? So those are there, just as placeholders. And then these are the ones that will actually go into the train. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I might have to shift things up a bit, but... Okay, so that's the absolute max. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. So we need 7 more out this way, and then that's where the end of our little station will be. One, two, three. Forests. They're the worst. But looks like we're just about out of time here, so we will finish up the iron station next time. For now, this has been Factorio. I've been Jay Scott Jewell, and I am signing off. All right, bye-bye.